So this is my story with Myasthenia. When I remember the date that I remember is August 19th, 2009. This was a very interesting day. It's not when it all started, but this was the day that was probably one of the hardest days. It started the hardest days. I was in the hospital at the time. The way I got there was a friend of mine. She looked at me one day. I had been having a lot of symptoms, and the symptoms that I'd been having, my speech was slurring, my eyes were drooping, and not only were they drooping, but my eyes would cross, so I would also have double vision. Now, naturally, my vision is 20/20, but my friend saw that something just wasn't right. So, the time I didn't have health insurance, so you know how America is. If you don't have health insurance, you might as well just go lay down in the corner and get ready to die, because they care nothing about those of us who do not have health insurance, or even those of us who have Medicaid and Medicare. But anyway, I didn't have any medical insurance, so one of my friends, she was just like, "No, I'm gonna take you to see my doctor, and just don't worry about the meal. We'll take care of it." So she took me to her doctor, and he looked at me. He ran some tests. I think that day was maybe August the 17th when I went to see her doctor, or so. Or maybe probably the 18th, because it all happens so fast. Probably the 18th. And her doctor said, "Look, you need to get to the emergency room right away." I was in Western Louisiana at the time, and there were no doctors there, no hospitals there that would take me without insurance. And so the doctor let me know that the nearest hospital was LSU in Shreveport. And so the doctor was like, "Look, you need to get there immediately." But that was all that the doctor said. And so I said, okay. So we left, and when we left, I said, "Well, look, let me pack up, and then we're prepared to go tomorrow." I think, yeah, that something like that happened. That was a time period. So I said, "Okay, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna try to get there within 24 hours because I had to make arrangements." I probably didn't have the gas money. I was a college student, and I had to try to get there. So she said, "Okay," because she was working at the time. I believe she was working, and so we both just had to try to get the schedule. She said, "Look, I'll bring you." So I'm driving myself home, and while I'm driving, I had double vision driving. That was the scariest moment of driving that I've had. Now, mind you, I said August the 19th was the scariest day. This is not the same day. So, anyway, my body starts to shut down. All of a sudden, it's harder for me to walk. I could barely get out of the car because my legs were getting weak. And so she manages to get me to Shreveport. The whole way we're praying, we're talking. I get to Shreveport and they immediately started to run tests on me. By then, I'm barely breathing. So they put these machines on me. I'm on not a CPAP, but a BiPAP. And they're running blood tests, they're running MRIs, EKGs. They're doing x-rays of my lungs to see if I had pneumonia. They're doing urine tests. They're doing neurological tests where they test your eyes. They're doing all kinds of tests, just test after test after test. They even did the thing where they plug you up. It's like electrodes. They send shocks through your legs to see how your body's responding, whether or not it twitches, to make your muscle twitch. Which is very painful, by the way, because they literally send electricity through your body to test your nerve responses. But on August the 19th, I received news from the doctor that I was diagnosed with something called Myasthenia gravis. I had never heard of this. I didn't know what it was. I had no clue of anything. So, excuse me. So I'm like, okay, so how do we get rid of it? They said, well, it's incurable. And at the rate you're going, you may have about 3 months to live at this rate if we don't do something. You have about 3 months to live. Now mind you, I cannot afford medicine. I can't afford that hospital stay. Right now, I think the total of that, I'll have to look at my records because I kept everything. But I believe that total was about $800,000. But I was at LSU Medical, so God intervened there. Now mind you, this is news to a person who was running 3 miles a day 3 months ago. As a matter of fact, I think I ran in the Crescent City Classic that same year, which is a run it's 5K run in the New Orleans area. So, a person that played basketball in high school, I was one of the top players in the state in both basketball and volleyball. I played played ball throughout college for, just as leisure. Because I didn't play for college, but I played in the intramurals, which was, just recreational. So I was really active. I had not experienced any health issues up until this moment, which is my mid-20s. So imagine hearing this news as a 20-year-old trying to figure out life. It's like everything crashed all at once. It's like I'm in this jet and I'm headed towards just going after my dreams. And I'm moving fastly because I'm also in ministry at the time. I'm ministering, I'm preaching the gospel. God is doing amazing things. I had just come back from Africa in 2008 doing missions. It's just like there were just amazing things that had happened. Then all of a sudden, in a matter of a month, just that jet that was full speed ahead, the engine went out, and I'm on a nose diving into the mountains. That was tough to hear. And then I'm hearing it almost alone because I was in the hospital by myself. My friend, she had to go back to Ruston. She was there for me, but not there with me. My parents, we were in a bit of an estranged relationship. So they were not there physically. We hadn't been talking much. There were a lot of different dynamics going on there. So, in essence, I'm just alone. I am terrified. I am afraid. I'm scared. I'm confused because I love God so much. In this moment, I am in such love with God. The zeal that I had is just unthinkable. It was almost as though I was just walking in complete joy before this moment, before this season, because it actually, when I first started experiencing symptoms, it was like, something was wrong, something wasn't right, but it's like, I'll be okay. And no one around me, none of my family members said, hey, let's get you checked out. It took one of my friends to say, look, something is not right, let's get you to the doctor. Most people, other people around me just kind of went along as though nothing was wrong with me. And I went along as though nothing was wrong with me. But something was definitely wrong. And on August 19th, there was a name put to it. And that name was Myasthenia gravis.